What's up? You're watching Tantu on BeatStars. My name is Teun. People know me as Tantu. I'm from Utrecht, the Netherlands, born and raised. I'm a music producer. I've been producing for 9 years now. I've been in it for quite a while. I'm still in university for studying music and technology. And yeah, man, it's what I do all day, every day, work with music. I started making beats in 2009. I was always a very heavy skateboarder. I was skateboarding every day, and I was always checking out all these skateboard videos. And some of them had like super cool music in them, and I always really liked it. Especially like the hip hop songs in the videos. So I started checking these out, and then I found out a friend of mine was making hip hop himself, just on Fruity Loops. And yeah, he started teaching me for like half a year just how to sample and stuff, just the basics of making like. Back then it was very raw, old school hip hop music. I started doing that, and then eventually, gradually, I evolved into what I do right now. The last 3 months, man, I've been interning with Abe from BeatStars. I've been building the BeatStars studio where we are at right now. I mean, when we came, you remember, when we came in here, this was just an empty space. And the plan was to, within a couple weeks, build this into the headquarters studio of BeatStars. So I've been doing lots and lots of research on like things like how to make a vocal booth, which gear to get, acoustic treatment of the room. So me and Abe have been working on that for quite a bit, and it's been a cool experience because, as you can see, like it's just a legit studio now where we recorded the whole album here with the guys from Still Moving. We did that in December. And I have been engineering the whole project, mixing the whole project, and mastering the whole project within a time span of about 2 weeks. So that's pretty crazy to do a whole album within that time, right? That's been a crazy experience. And other than that, I've been able to work on a lot of music for myself here and just learn about the American culture, because I had never been to the States before. So in 2009, I started my YouTube channel. When I started producing beats in that same year, I didn't really send them to that many friends. I just kept them for myself, and at some point I felt like I just wanted to push them into the world. So I started uploading them to YouTube, and at some point I gained quite some listeners. I don't really know why that started or how that started. From there I was able to become a YouTube partner, which was pretty big back in the day. I think it was like 2010 or 2011. And I would be able to monetize my videos, so that was very interesting. And YouTube would promote me for being a YouTube partner as well. So I got quite some traction from there. And other than that, I hit up a lot of bigger YouTubers, people who would make like draw tutorials, skateboarding videos, vlogs, pretty much anything I would enjoy watching. I would hit them up and tell them like, yo, if you need music in your videos, just use my music, just make sure you give me credit in some form. And they would do that, and that actually got me like my first fan base, I guess. And from there on, it was just a matter of being consistent in quality, creativity, and content. I've always approached it in a way where I make the beats I enjoy making at that time. So I never really had a plan like, okay, I'm gonna make these kind of beats, or I'm gonna do type beats or whatever. I started out just putting things under my own name, Tantu Beats, and then the title of the beat, and then rap instrumental, just like that. No type beats or anything. And that changed, of course. I mean, the market changes. You have to adapt. You have to try new things. I've just been able to, and I've been lucky enough to place my music in a lot of videos with a lot of artists, and everyone would give proper credit. So that's where I got to build my own brand. I remember the first time when I got hit up by a couple of rappers who wanted to buy my beats. It was in like 2010, I think. And I was like, I didn't really know it was a thing back then. I was just making beats and I liked it, and I didn't even know that licensing existed. But from there on, of course, I became aware of this whole market, which was in 2010, so it wasn't as big as it is right now. And from there on, I found that was a way for me to monetize what I loved doing, right? I mean, I started selling beats in 2011. That's when me and a friend of mine created my own website, and we built like this pretty shitty beat store in there. But it worked. I had to send out everything manually, but it was super old school, but it worked and people would buy it there. But I always treated it as something for on the side, for just like, if people are interested in my music and they are artists, they are performing artists, they can buy it here. But other than that, I was always focused on just the craft of making music itself. Some people see the craftsmanship you try to put into it, and they stick around. And I mean, that makes for a very eventually that will make for a very large customer base, which will come back to you and will provide me with a living for a long time still. I think that the time I do spend on beats definitely recently started differentiating me from other producers, where you see all these interviews of producers and they're talking about a hit record they made, and it's always, literally always, yeah, I made this beat in 15 minutes or in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and every time I'm like, yeah, that's crazy, I'm spending 3 hours, sometimes I'm spending 4 hours on a mix just to get like that tiny bit more out of it, and I guess that's just something which in my mind is important, and I know consumers don't really care about that, but it's for me, spending more time on beats is a way for me to keep developing myself, keep challenging myself, and keep it interesting for myself, because I just get bored very quickly of doing the same thing. So if you want to switch up styles, you need to dig into that, and that takes a lot of time. If you're making a different kind of beat, it's gonna take a while before you get the right inspiration, you get the right techniques to be able to actually make that what you want to make. As far as my setup goes, I mean, I use FL Studio. I've always been using FL Studio. But with that, I'm integrating quite some hardware as well. I got into analog synths like 2.5 years ago, I think. And that's been a pretty big part of my sound. I feel like it has been, where, for me, it just really feels good to be able to physically feel like you're actually creating the music, rather than just staring at a screen and programming little MIDI notes into a pattern, and then it ends up sounding good. For me, it really feels good to be able to actually feel like I'm creating. So turning the knobs on the synthesizer and hear the sound change, or just, I'm not even that good of a piano player, but I always play in all my melodies or chords. I just play them in just that one small piece of natural touch to my work. My last words to the BeatStars community would be yourself, and not only in general life, but try being yourself in your branding, try being yourself in your music, and try to do whatever feels good to you, and don't approach your business in a way where you feel like you're pushed around because other people are doing certain things. Just do whatever you feel like. If you have a good idea, try it. And do not try it because you don't see anyone doing it yet. On social media, any platform would just be Tantu Beats, Tantu Beats. If you don't know the word beats, get out of here.